Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. COVID-19 outbreak is regarded as one of the crises. It is a crisis because crisis comes unexpectedly. For this COVID era, no one was prepared for it. We did not know how it looked like. We didn't know how it will feel like. We didn't know how it's going to change our lives. Like any crisis, COVID-19 era destabilized the whole nation, including us in Africa. This pandemic resulted in great economical consequences. The Greek word for crisis is krisis. It derived from the verb krino. The primary meaning of krino is to separate, to distinguish, to decide. Crisis separate the wheat from the chaff. It distinguish and reveal who a person is made of. Are you brave or are you a coward? Crisis is a time to make decisions that maybe we have been postponing about them for a long time. Scholars reasoned a crisis as neither positive or negative, but it depends on your perception as an individual. To people with positive mindset, a crisis is the beginning of a new era. It offers opportunities for innovation, opportunities for revolution, and opportunities for improvements. Crisis becomes a disaster only when we respond to it with fear. Fear opens doors for anxiety and distress. In the face of a crisis, it is important that we calm down so that we can be able to judge the circumstances we are facing in order to take an informed decision. According to Stephen James Venit, crisis is a process of transformation where the old system can no longer be maintained. This pandemic of COVID-19 is also traumatic, and it resulted in fatalities such as loss of businesses. Many people lost their businesses. It also resulted in death. People lost their loved ones. Have a picture or envision a woman who lost a husband who was in business. And this woman did not have passion concerning this business. Now this woman is faced with a business that she doesn't have an idea about. She doesn't even understand. She doesn't even know where to start. Indeed, in South Africa, since we are still in the era of COVID-19, we are in the middle of a crisis. Because of this COVID-19 era, divorce rate also rose. Domestic violence rates increased. Some people were facing repeated failure. They tried this business thinking, if I do this, if I venture in this kind of business, I can survive during this era. But now, because of social distancing, everyone locked themselves in their own space. It is difficult to reach customers. So doing business really become difficult, and that made people and left people feeling like they are failures. This era of COVID-19 left most people homeless, jobless, orphaned, widowers, and the crime rate increased as people are trying to survive. Crisis or a trauma has opportunities hidden behind it. It is a gateway of humans to break up with the past and imagine their world anew. So crisis is a portal between one world and the next world. You can choose to walk through it, either dragging fear, or you can walk through it ready to imagine another world pregnant with possibilities. Many people suffocated a lot in this era of COVID-19 because they got distracted by how it appeared to them. They looked at how strong it looked, how scary it looked. It is terrifying. That is the truth. It's erratic and unstable. Many people close their businesses, as we have already mentioned. Some even lost lucrative deals because of the era of COVID-19. Other people dropped their studies because studying became expensive. People were faced with long-distance learning, which demands data, or what you can call data. So that is money to buy that data. And admission due to depression made hospital to overflow because of COVID-19. So people really suffered because of this COVID era. Now, how do you rebound? The topic of today is mainly about rebouncing. How do you rebound in this COVID era? You can rebound if you can be able to redefine yourself. Firstly, know that behind every crisis, behind every traumatic event, there are hidden opportunities and openings. These opportunities and openings are hidden. So take advantage of the opportunities and the hidden openings. You can only do that if you decide to change your mindset. Change your mindset about this crisis. Look for openings that avail themselves. See what others do not see. train your mindset and your mind eye to see what others do not see. Then you will not be limited by what is going on around you. Every crisis opens new doors. It opens new types of businesses, and it opens new jobs. Isn't it some women had forgotten about their sewing machines, but this era of COVID-19 made them to go into their garages and dust those sewing machines, clean them again, and they started to make masks. People started to go into business of making sanitizers. So there are new doors, there are openings for new businesses, and we can even create jobs within the era of COVID-19. It is the excellent time to birth new ideas. It is the excellent time to reveal our creativity as individuals. And crisis is the worst of time to those who are monotonous in approach, those who are orientated to repetitive activities, and those who are challenged by anything fresh and new. People who do not want to separate with the usual. They cannot think outside the box except thinking what they already know. So, a period like this that we are going through, it is really challenging to them. Sometimes in life, we have to revisit our visions or revisit the vision of our businesses. This revisitation should be done in consideration of our family. In a day, some of us, we put different caps or hats. I'm talking about different responsibilities that we face daily. So when you revisit the vision of your business, consider your family and consider yourself. You are a parent to your children. You are a wife or a husband to somebody else. You are supposed to be a friend to that person that you are married to. Friends spend time together. You are also expected to be a friend to your children. Some of us, we are even cook in our own houses. So we should take all this into consideration. In the midst of all this, consider also living your life as a person. Have a lifestyle that offers you opportunities to take care of yourself. Maybe you need to sleep enough. Have some me time, just you alone. Do things that gives you joy. The things that you do and you don't do them for your family, for your children, for your employees. You do them for yourself because they give you joy. However, it is important that you do not overindulge. And the most important thing, realign all this with your present situation. And the present situation, I'm talking about COVID-19 era. In this era, be careful of your confessions, because your utterance either fuel your energy or deflate your energy. Cease talking about how bad things are. Some people think positive thoughts, but immediately cancel them by confessing the negatives. In this era, focus on digging opportunities and focus on how you can make them real. With your tongue, you either build your empire or you build your prison. A prison that it might take you long time before you could get out of it, even post COVID-19 era. This era is going to pass. We shouldn't look at it as if it is here forever. This period of COVID-19 is a time for advancement and a period to succeed and progress when others are feeble. We are taught that in most cases, the bad and the good cannot work together. Positive and negative are not friends. However, in some instances, like this era of COVID-19, the bad and the good are capable of giving birth to wealth. Train your mind to perceive something out of nothing. Some people might say this COVID-19 era brought us nothing except wailing, sadness, and depression. I challenge you, train your mind to perceive something out of nothing. Some people might say this era of COVID-19 brought us nothing except wailing, sadness, and depression. Train your mental eye to see something positive out of that nothing. Out of what people call nothing, train your mind to see something positive. Everywhere you go, look for opportunities and possibilities. Go for opportunities and openings that you have interest in. Do what gives you pleasure, then you shall succeed. It is best to select the business for which you have the best developed talent, or select something that excites you, or something that stimulates you. No one is going to beat you. Therefore, avoid impulsivity, because there is enough for all of us. This cake of life that our Creator offered to all of us is big enough, and there is a piece for every one of us, including you. If you happen to fall back on the contemplations of your vision. Do not lose your vision. In some instances, do not be afraid to make a sudden or radical change if the opportunity is presented. And if you feel, after careful consideration, that it is the right opportunity. But never take a sudden or radical change when you are in doubt. Life is happening for you. Get out of the competitive mind. Compete with yourself and embrace others. You are not a product of your environment, but you are the creator of your experience. Our thoughts make our world. By the activity of our thoughts, things come into reality. Many people simply sit and wish for something, or wish to pursue a certain business idea, but they fail to provide the already having received attitude. By already having received attitude, I mean where during your me time you imagine it, you envision it, you allow yourself to feel it. You feel it like it is happening now. The more you do that, the more you will see the result. It means mental health is very important in this era of COVID-19. Negativity will pull out all the signs of stop. You want to go this direction, stop. You want to pursue this, stop. To make sure your mindset are saturated with fear and doubt. Whenever we experience a negative emotion, know that it is an attempt from your mind to abort your dream before it comes to fruition, before it becomes real. As we close, I encourage you, rebounce, redefine yourself in this era of COVID-19 and take authority. When fearful thoughts come, refuse to accept them and take authority over them immediately. Enforce your victory over fear by speaking positive. The second step, step out. Advertise your business. Relationships are very important in business. Positive, healthy relationships. Be polite and kind to your customers. Say hi time and again. Do not just call them when you have a new product or a new service. Once in a while, just give them a ring and find out how they are doing. Be charitable. I'm not talking about money here. A word of encouragement can really pull someone who was sinking down into the grave. Do not belp. Snitching other people's idea will derail you and you will miss your destiny. And I will also say, preserve your integrity. Deliver your services with honesty and be trustworthy, especially when your business grows. If you are putting 2 tablespoons of sugar in your scones, continue to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. Do not reduce it to 2 teaspoons. Redefine yourself, and it shall possibly infect your sphere of life and for the better. And I want to say, rebounce, redefine yourself, and thank you.